Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I want to talk about business model that many people describe as the future of money, the future of finance, or the future of information itself. Crypto, copy trading, and the prediction markets. On the surface, this world looks innovative, fast moving, and full of opportunity. You see coins, app, traders, and new platforms promising access to a new financial frontier. But underneath that surface is a much deeper system. This is not just about investing, it is about turning uncertainty, volatility, and belief into a product people can buy, trade, and sometimes get trapped within it. Most people enter this space through the language of opportunity. They hear that crypto is the future. They hear that the right platform can help them grow their money faster than traditional finance. They hear that copy trading lets them borrow expertise and that prediction markets are smarter because they price information. In that story, the user thinks they are gaining access to insight, innovation, and financial upside. But what often gets hidden is the fact that these systems make money from activity, not necessarily from user success. What is really going on is that uncertainty is being turned into a tradable experience. Price movement becomes the attraction. Event probabilities become the product. The platform does not need certainty, it needs movement, participation, and belief. That's why this lane is so powerful. A user can be drawn in by the dream of being early, being smarter, or simply following someone who seems to understand the system. But the deeper business is often not wealth creation in any guaranteed sense. It is monetizing the user's willingness to act under uncertainty. This model works beautifully because people are naturally drawn to upside, speed, and the feeling they can get ahead before everyone else does. Crypto offers volatility. Copy trading offers borrowed confidence. Prediction markets offer the idea that the future itself can be priced and traded. That combination is extremely compelling. It gives people the feeling that they are not just participating in the market, they are participating in the future. And that emotional pull is what makes this business model so durable. These systems often sell the feeling of foresight. The user feels like there is a pattern to unlock, a signal to follow, a market truth to discover before everyone else does. But in reality, a great deal of this activity is driven by speculation, social momentum, and the emotional power of charts, probabilities, and expert looking language. In other words, the product not only the asset or the contract, the product is also the feeling that uncertainty can be mastered and manipulated. This is where the scene broadens behind coins and charts. A prediction market takes uncertainty about the future and packages it into tradable contracts. Instead of buying a stock or a token, the user is effectively buying exposure to whether something will happen or not. An election result, a policy change, a sports related event, a rate decision. All of these can be turned into priceable probabilities. This is why prediction markets are so fascinating. They turn forecasting into participation and they turn probability into a business. The political angle brings in a more serious layer. Once prediction markets and speculative platforms begin touching politics, public events, and non-public information, the stakes rises very quickly. These systems are no longer just about entertainment or personal investing. They begin to overlap with influence, information's asymmetry, and questions about who knows what before the public does. That is why this topic deserves serious attention. The market may look neutral, but information is never distributed equally, and that creates a very different kind of power dynamic. The business depends on social interpretation. People watch charts, feeds, communities, and each other. They look for signals. They try to read movement. But the truth is, the crowd itself often becomes part of the product. Once enough people believe a thing is valuable or likely or inevitable, that belief can begin moving the market. So the system is not just pricing reality, it is also pricing collective emotion, narrative, and expectations. That is why hype and speculation often grow together. Copy trading sounds simple. Just follow someone who knows what they are doing. But that simplicity is exactly what makes it very dangerous. It lowers the user need to understand the market because it replaces knowledge with trust. The follower thinks they are reducing risk by borrowing expertise, but often they are just outsourcing judgment without understanding the real exposure or consequences. In the legitimate version, that still creates real risk. In the scam version, it becomes a funnel for deposits, fake dashboards, and block withdrawals. So the visible service is mentorship or signals, but the hidden business may be confidence rental. The final takeaway is that crypto, copy trading, and prediction markets do more than offer new ways to invest. They turn volatility, uncertainty, and user belief into scalable digital products. That is what makes this such a revealing hidden business model. The visible product is opportunity. The hidden business is activity, deposits, belief, and repeated participation under risk. And maybe the biggest question of all is this: are these platforms truly building a better financial future, or are they simply getting better at turning uncertainty into something people cannot stop interacting with? A real trader talks about risk, a scammer just talks about outcomes. Thank you.